The Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt has issued an interim injunction restraining the State House of Assembly from going ahead with its impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odu. Justice F.A. Fubara gave the ruling on Friday, while granting motions ex parte in the two suits filed by Governor Fubara and Mrs. Odu, a professor. The 27 lawmakers, including the Speaker of the House, Martin Amewewule, the Clerk of the House, and the Chief Judge, were listed as defendants in the suits. The court specifically restrained House Speaker Amewewule and 32 others, including the Clerk of the House, from sending any correspondence to the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Simeon Chibuzo Amadi. Fafadam Principal is a politician and key stakeholder in Rivers State. He joins me now to have a quick conversation around what's been going on in his beloved state. Good afternoon. Good to see you, Fafadam Principal. Thank you for joining us on This Day Live.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bati. My pleasure.
Yeah, well, let me start by wishing you a very happy new year and good to see you after such a long time.
Same to you.
Yeah,
yes.
Very quickly.
Thank you.
What do you make of this?
Same to you.
What do you make of this latest development in Rivers State? The House of Assembly members, including the ones that said they were not part of the process, 4 of them, showed up at a press briefing on Friday and said it's not a divided house, and they were going ahead with the impeachment process. And they went straight into the assembly and then decided that it would proceed. But at the same time, you had that, the governor had gone to court, he and his deputy, and now the court has ruled that the impeachment process must be suspended, an interim injunction, until the motion of notice is determined. And the case has been adjourned till January 23.
Yes, well, Rivers State has been going through the ups and downs of what I would call power struggle between the FCT minister and the sitting governor, who he put in place. I think to a very large extent, the ball is in the court of the political party, the ruling party, both national and state in Rivers State now. The governor has crossed to the APC, and it appears without the consent of the FCT minister. The State Assembly, they have all crossed to APC. So it is now fully an APC matter. And officials of the political party have also made public statements in support of the governor. I believe that the persistence of the FCT minister, because this is a proxy war, as everyone knows, anything the State Assembly people do are instructions from the FCT minister. I believe that it is time for all concerned, especially the powers that be in the APC, to tone down the level of the quagmire in Rivers State. The state is suffering from the effects of this instability. A lot of work at the beginning that it seemed the governor was approaching are now suffering. There was a lot of hope, especially in his decentralization program, which showed many areas that had been neglected in the past beginning to get some kind of government attention. We also feel the consensus, I would say, most reasonable people in Rivers State believe that it is no longer a matter of political party as such. I agree with the Honorable Minister of FCT in that regard, that Rivers State is no longer a matter of APC, PDP, or Labour Party, or whatever. We all want good governance. We want peace, we want stability, and we want Rivers State to take its rightful position in these circumstances that we find our country. There is international perspective. Off the coast of River State was where the missiles were fired to Sokoto State. We believe that we need peace in River State.
Well, Fafa, you were just saying now in passing that you agree with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory on the point about what you need is peace, good governance in River State. Many people will be concerned that, should anybody in fact be agreeing with Minister Wike, considering that he's the main architect of the crisis in River State, as some will readily argue? You think it's unfairly,
I think you had
unfairly fingered in this matter?
No, I think you heard me wrong.
Okay. Maybe you then clarify.
I agreed with the Honorable Minister. Yes, the aspect I agreed with the Honorable Minister is that there are no political party interests as such anymore. That is APC, PDP, Labour Party. It's not about that anymore. What we need, that's the area I agree with him. In terms of peace, it is very clear that the Honorable Minister is perhaps the single reason why there is no peace in the states. That is not debatable. He has not had his way, and there is no peace because he's not having his way. I don't want to make judgment on whether his way is correct or not correct, but the reason there is no peace in the states is because he's not having his way. So I cannot say that he's the one creating peace in the state. I hope you heard me right now.
Yes, I heard you right now. Well, some people, everyone is a commentator now on the River State situation. That is the burden that the people of River State have brought upon themselves. Now, people were saying, let's wait for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to return and intervene in the matter. After all, the other time, when a state of emergency was declared, the president took the lead, even met with the gladiators. So, do you think that this is a matter now, even if you say it's not for political parties, is it a matter for the president of Nigeria to look into? Because I don't think that the president can afford to have, chaos, confusion in River State ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Actually, if we want to be very plain about this, the crisis is about the 2027 election. I think that much is clear. The crisis is also about the presidential elections, okay? And given that, no one can say that the president has no role to play. In fact, it is his call. It is his minister, his appointed minister, his representative that is at the center of it all. So clearly, the president has a role to play and must intervene. He has intervened a few times. I think one or two times were publicly known that the president intervened. And unfortunately, the interventions did not resolve the issues. The interventions have been partial, not comprehensive. The interventions have, sometimes I remember the first intervention where the governor went and withdrew his court case and all of that. The intervention was escalated rather than de-escalate the situation. So perhaps it's also is due to not understanding all the factors, perhaps, but the intervention of the president is necessary. In fact, it is welcome. I believe that those in River State do not think that this is a River State problem, really. Rivers people are not in this kind of, it's not in the character of Rivers people to have this kind of endless, intractious, personal conflicts.
Okay, Fafa, if you say so, then, what would you recommend as the way forward? Some people have suggested that perhaps Governor Fubara should resign and save himself the embarrassment of being impeached and then not being able to run for governorship position the second time. Some people have said maybe perhaps President Tinubu should declare another round of state of emergency in Rivers State and appoint another sole administrator. Some people have also argued that perhaps he should relieve the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory of his position, since that's the position that gives him the oxygen to maintain his relevance in Rivers State. What will you consider as a good option?
To be very honest with you, I do not think that there is much that the governor can do. A lot of what has happened, except of course those who feel that he should obey all instructions by his former godfather, irrespective of the extent of it. I don't share that opinion, so I do not think that you can blame the governor that much, okay? They disagreed, and they have found it difficult to resolve issues. And from the public statements, it appears that the governor is willing to meet them halfway. I believe that the present issue on the table is a supplementary budget. And when you look at it carefully, the State Assembly wants a supplementary budget, and the governor does not think that a supplementary budget is necessary. I do not think that that is a reasonable basis, to call for an impeachment. I think it is well within the powers of the governor to decide whether there should be a supplementary budget or not. And if in his wisdom or lack of wisdom, he chooses not to have a supplementary budget, I think the State Assembly should wait a few more months.
Okay.
And they will be able to have a proper
Okay,
budget.
On that note, I would like to thank
you.
you
So I
very
do
much.
not think that...
Well, I wanted to...
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much, Prince Papa Dan Princewell, politician and chieftain, in the leadership process of Rivers State.